Hello students, welcome back. Last part of chapter number 6, that are the regression. Let's see what is a regression. Regression is the measure of average relationship between two or more variable. Let's see, in a previous video we have seen the correlation types and the coefficient of correlation. In this we have seen the regression. Then what is a regression? Is a measure of average relationship between two or more variables. Regression analysis is a major extent relationship between the two variable, that are the regression. Then next types of regression, that we have see the types of correlation. Same type are here: regression, simple and the multiple. Then what is the definition? Arises the simple regression. Simple regression are the study only two variable at the time. One variable is dependent while another variable is independent. Functional relationship between income and expenditure. We only study only two variables. That is known as simple. Other side, at a time more than two variable we going to study, that is known as multiple regression. One is dependent and other are independent, such as the effect on rain, on irrigation and a yield crop. That type of regression, that is known as a multiple regression. Then linear and non-linear regression, same concept like a correlation in a regression. When one variable changes, with respect another variable also changes. Same type of a regression is known as a linear regression. When we plot a graph, we got a straight line graph, that is known as linear regression. When one variable changes, another will be not changing. That type of regression is known as a non-linear regression. When you draw the graph, we get a curved line graph, that is known as a linear and non-linear. Next is a partial and total. It is a type of regression in which at a time only two variable we are going to study. That type is known as a partial. In a regression types, all variable we going to consideration, that is known as a total regression. That are the types of a regression. Next point is a linear regression analysis. In statistics, linear regression is an approach for modeling the relationship scalar dependent y and explanatory independent variable x. In statistics, regression can be represented with the help of by drawing the graph on a x as well as a y axis. Y axis is a scalar vector, and the x axis it is a independent variable vectors. Let's see scalar vector and the independent vector means what? Scalar vector, that means that will not explain without the help of a x variable. If there are the one explanatory variable, called as a simple linear regression. If there are more than one explanatory variable, is called as a multiple linear regression. Let's say simple linear regression, if there are only one explanatory variable, that is known as a simple. If there are the more than one explanatory variable, that is known as a multiple linear regression. In a linear regression, data are modeled using the linear predictor function, and the unknown parameter are the estimated. Such models as a linear model. There are linear regression argument used to predict correlation between one or more independent variable and a dependent variable, that are nothing but the given. Then uses of a regression analysis. Regression analysis used in a many scientific study. It is used in a field two or more variable having the affinity to go back to the average. Then next, regression analysis is used to predict the value of a dependent variable from the independent variable. Regression line equation are helps to estimate the value of a dependent variable. That are the uses of a regression analysis. This presentation I have made using the with the help of Google, SlideShare, and the special references goes to the success publication textbook of a TY Basic Computational Botany by the Dr. G.S. Dhulkande and the Dr. S.M. Sangai of a publication 2015. If you have any doubt, please comment below the section. There are simple concepts are given. In regression, first I will explain what is regression, then types of regression, then linear regression and the uses of a regression. Thank you. Here are our chapter number 6 are completed.